Well, this is a fascinating take. Apparently, if you take your employer to tribunal for refusing to pay you what you're owed, then in professional jobs, people will talk about you, and you can't take that behavior everywhere. Now, this is especially sus because what we were talking about in this example was a 17-year-old girl who actually took her employer to tribunal and won for what should have only been £158 unpaid wages, but turned out to be over £1,000 because of the ruling. So, what exactly do we want to teach our young people in the UK today? That being professional means that you just accept it when your employer doesn't pay you? That being professional means that you just move on because you did labor and don't deserve to be compensated for that labor? And is that the model of behavior that we want this young woman and any young person to take into the employment world, that they should not fight back, that they should not kick up a fuss, and that they should just do as they are told? Because that sounds like a really terrible lesson to be teaching young people as they are entering the workforce. The expectation, the model of behavior that needs to change is on the employer side and on the side of people like this who probably aren't even an employer, but for some reason seem to think that the employers are going to reward them or treat them differently if they try to act on their behalf instead of the behalf of all of the workers that they have so much more in common with. You do not have more in common with a billionaire than you have with the lowest paid flower packer or with someone in an office job. Like, it's not going to help you to try and suck up to individuals or corporations that do not care about you. Like, it's ridiculous. So no, I'm sorry. I completely disagree about what professional means in this context, and I completely disagree that this is an incorrect model of behavior for a young person to take on into the world of work. I think that this young woman perfectly exemplified what we would want all young people to bring into the workforce, which is knowing their worth. Knowing their worth and knowing that when an employer makes a commitment to them, that they would be expected to follow up with that commitment and pay them for their time. Like, this is not radical. This is not radical. And the fact that it's being presented as radical is very telling about the toxic atmosphere that we're supposed to accept as workers here in the UK.